Hello, welcome to African Women in the Diaspora, where we talk about the challenges that women of African descent face when they live abroad. We talk about the solutions to these challenges, and we also tell the success stories of these women. Today, as always, my name is Ngozi Jason, your host. I have a very interesting lady here with me. Very, very interesting.
Not to say
Very
weirdo,
interesting.
that's
Her name is Jo Parverdy. Jo is wow. Anyway, let me just tell you a little bit about her, and then she would tell you more about herself. She's an entrepreneur, and she just started this initiative for people of color, and it's called Kclab. Kclab, right?
yeah,
Yes.
crab. The
Called
media,
Kclab.
you're right.
So when she starts talking, she'll give you more details about what Kclab is about. So Jo was born to parents of her parents are from Madagascar in Africa. I've always loved that country. I don't know why. I've always said that one day I'll go to Madagascar. Madagascar. Maybe Joe will help me, and I'll get to that country at some point in my life. So
Definitely. We should organize that.
her parents are from Madagascar. He was born in France, and then she lived in the UK for a while. Then from the UK, she moved to Spain. So now she lives in Spain. Jo speaks French. She speaks Spanish. And she has been living in Spain, so she's learning to speak the language. And she also studied Italian in school. So she speaks at least three languages. Jo has, I don't know, she has so many cultures, swimming inside her system. She has the black.
You bring everything into a blender and you shake.
Yes, she has Indian blood. She has black blood. She has Chinese blood. So Jo is a very, very interesting woman. So I'm just going to ask you, Jo, please tell us more about yourself. Who are you? What do you do? What have you done? And what are you doing now?
Thanks for that great and funny introduction. I loved it. So my name is Jo. Well, let's start from where I come from. I'm actually French, so bonjour everyone. I was raised in France by two parents from Madagascar, but because Madagascar has been colonized more and from a lot of countries, so I do have like grandparents that are from from China as well. I've got a grandfather that was born in the La Réunion Island as well. So everything brings like a really, really massive mix. So my parents had to move to France when I was still a little one. So I was born, raised there, make school there, even university, and started to work in France. And so I was working in marketing, so in digital marketing as a brand lead then, doing strategic marketing as well. So after like working for years in France, I was thinking, well, I need to see something different. I need to like open my mind a little more. So that's why I get the opportunity within the same company to move to the UK. So what I've done for a couple of years, I think also like marketing there, but really what most struck me is how much I had to embrace a new culture, how different friends could be like from England, even if they are neighborhood, So it was really interesting and also really helped me to embrace again my mixity and being surrounded by so many different people from so many different cultures. It was just amazing. And so after that, after those amazing years, I had to get back in France. And getting back there, I was like, well, I think like I don't belong there anymore. I need to continue to discover some culture. I need to expand myself. And job wise, I had a really great situation on my husband as well, but we thought, well, it's time for us to take a shot to like build our companies because we've been dreaming about that for years. And also to do this life abroad together because I moved to the UK alone and he was waiting for me in France in the meantime. So there was like a lot of traveling, a lot of challenges as well in the meantime. But we were like, okay, let's start our businesses each on our side. And this is why I created Kclab because my purpose is really like to be, let's say, like the big sister that can tell you, you can do everything, girl. You can really do it, even if sometimes society or your environment, depending on where you're raised, depending on what's your background, can really make you like first not feel seen but also as well, like not showing you that you have the potential to thrive and rise as you want. So I'm really here to like tell the stories of the people, and whether it's in pop culture as well, and also sharing my story to show to everybody that they deserve also to take up the space. Basically, I've designed their own path. So I'm dedicating myself to that right now. And I've met like so many interesting person as you first. So yeah, I'm pleased doing it. I'm trying to bring the change I want to see in the world. You know, it's one of those.
That's nice. So if I heard you correctly, you grew up in France, but you were not born in France.
I
Is that
am. I
correct?
grew up and I am born in France.
Okay. All right. So you were born in France, you grew up in France, so you went to primary school, secondary school, university in
Yes,
France. Okay. And then you started work in France, but later you moved to the UK. Is that
exactly.
correct? Okay.
Yes.
So when did you learn to speak English? Was it when you moved to the UK?
No, it was before because in the French school, we do start to learn English in secondary school, let's say. So this is where I started to learn English, and then when I get into my first job, I was already like doing an international position. So I was like also talking English every day. So it was like I had a basis before moving to the UK. But British English is a very different thing than French English. So this is how I've helped skill a little bit my English.
You're doing really well because I know that sometimes for people who speak more than one language, sometimes we get confused.
But
Sometimes
definitely,
you mix up, some phrases or some sentences or some words in one language with another language. So for you to speak
exactly.
more than three languages, you're doing well because I know how it can be, because most Nigerians are bilingual. So I know sometimes you
Mm.
can mix up things. So you're doing really well. Big up to
Thank
you.
you. To tell you the truth, just before joining the call, I was like, okay, don't start with "Hola, ¿qué tal?" because I'm starting to learn Spanish. I was like, you should stick with English today.
I get it. I get it. So, and you're doing well. I understand you very well. So you
Yeah.
worked in you said you worked with a marketing company in the UK, right?
Yeah. So basically, what happened is that the pharmaceutical company I was employed for in France give me the opportunity to be expatriate in the UK. So it was more like the HQ was in France, and so I went to their affiliate in the UK. So this is how I
Okay.
get the opportunity to move there and do. So the marketing position was a bit different because I was doing international marketing when I was at the headquarters, and I moved to a more tactical and operational marketing position over there, but really to learn how it works within the country and how it works within an affiliate, because it's really different than when you work with all the support functions and all of that. So it
Mhm,
was really nice to also visit customers and better understand that
mhm.
aspect of the business. It was amazing.
So how
Great
long were
journey.
you in the UK?
I was there for 2 years.
2 years. All right.
Yeah.
And were you already married when you moved to the UK?
So yeah, we were already engaged for how long? Damn, 5 years, 7 years with my husband before I moved. So yeah, because
All
yeah,
right.
as I was so I moved alone in the UK, and my husband was waiting for me in France while I was over there. So I had to manage everything on my own, moving to the UK. So all the visa, all the paperwork.
Wow. So after 2 years, why did you leave? Go back to France? Was love calling you? Did love pull the energy of love pull you back to
Well,
France, or work pulled you back to France? Why did you go back to France?
Well, definitely love. I was lucky enough to have a man that waited for me for 2 years. Then I need to go back home right now. I mean, long distance relationship is a thing. Let's say the truth.
Hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's really hard. You do have to travel a lot. You need to manage on your own. All your travel on your trip is very tiring as well. So at some point we were like, okay, we do it for 2 years. It's really like an investment on ourselves as well. And after 2 years, I go back home and we discuss what we do together and like make a plan together. So until my contract, I've asked if we can like stay in the UK, but that was not possible. So okay, let's first get back to my job in France anyway, and we'll see what happened together. And I stayed in France. We stayed in France together for a little while. We were thinking now we want to travel and see the world and like be in an environment where we like learn from people, different people, see a different culture as well. So that's why we moved to Spain in the end.
So the two of you just wanted to travel and see the world. You guys agreed that's what you wanted to do. Wonderful.
Yeah,
Awesome.
exactly. Yeah. And also like making the move together, like defining the plan for ourselves by ourselves, if you see what I mean.
So you moved from France and you moved to Spain, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
And how long have you lived in Spain?
For now, we are here since the beginning of March. It's all doing very great. I mean, we are in Barcelona, in Spain, so we've got the beach, we've got really nice people, and there's really like a different like pace of lifestyle comparing to France. So we really appreciate it. There's a really like nice work-life balance. People are all really friendly as well. It's really, really nice.
So are the people in Spain more friendly than people in France? What would you say?
I'd say it's really, yeah. I mean, I think it's really different. My vision on this, and it's really my that personal vision, is that in France, we are really driven by the system, by work. I mean, at that point when I was in France, work was most of my life. I was spending that 99% thinking about work, doing work. And it was giving very little time during my day to do personal stuff, like whether it's going to the gym or spend time with my family or even with my husband. You get back home, you're just really tired and you're like, okay, you need to go back tomorrow on your feet and do it again. You know what I mean? When in Spain, I do feel it's really different in the way that the work day are actually shorter than in France. Let's start with that. Yeah. So I mean, when I was saying a 9 to 5, so the 9 to 5 I was doing in France was never a 9 to 5. It was a 9 to 7 p.m. and 9 to 8 p.m. So then you get back home, you just like feed yourself, go back to your bed, and that's pretty it. When here, it's more close to the 9 to 5 that you have in the UK, but with more like flexibility as well, which means that you end up your day by like 4, 5, and so you can like go to the beach, enjoy like a nice drink with your friend because everyone is really like, there's an overall like life outside as well because it's always really sunny. So people are really like meeting each other within the street, just like catching up and stuff. So it's really, really friendly.
Wow.
There's nice also like, yeah, there's nice festivities in all the neighborhoods within the town. It's really great. So
Wow. Now you're now making me feel like going to Spain. And I feel like going to Spain because of you.
come, yeah, just come, give it a shot.
That's
I mean,
nice.
to be transparent, I think it's also because I became an entrepreneur, so I can manage my schedule also as I want right now. So it makes also a
Just about
difference.
to say that. I wanted to say that
Yeah.
because when you were in France, you were working a 9 to 5 job. And so, but in Spain, your time is yours. You decide what you want to do when you want to do it. Yeah. So I
Yeah.
guess that's one of the biggest reasons why you seem to be enjoying Spain much more than you enjoyed France.
And it's really
Yeah.
something that I want to like also like to get back compared to what I was doing before. Like really take like back my time to do whatever I want to be for, whether it's my personal life or also my career or professional life. And I always like dream of being an entrepreneur, building something from my hands, you know. So yeah.
Awesome. So I think this is a good time for us to pause now and we'll take a message from our sponsors. So today's episode is sponsored by Oh So Yummy skincare products. Oh So Yummy is a skincare product that is made especially for women of color, especially for Black African women. We've noticed when Black African women move abroad to the West, they find that their skin starts to get dry, their faces break out in spots or pimples and things like that. Also, Yomi has an oil you can use for your face, and their products, excuse me, their products are organic, completely organic. They use natural products like shea butter, coconut oil, almond oil, and honey. They use things like that. No chemicals, nothing. There's no unpronounceable name in their ingredients. When Black African women travel to cold countries in the West, also yummy body butter, also yummy face oil, also yummy black soap, also yummy face scrub are the things that you should get for yourself. Pamper your skin and use Also Yummy. And if you want to know how you can get Also Yummy products, you can call this number on WhatsApp. You can call this number +234 8033220920. That's +234-8033220920. Call that number or call the number or send a message on WhatsApp. Or if you rather send an email, just email me at ngozijason1@gmail.com. ngozijason1@gmail.com. Yeah. Thank you so much. And we're back, Jo. We're back. I want to ask you, you said something. You said you've always wanted to be an entrepreneur. Why? Why have you always wanted to be an entrepreneur?
Well, I think it's because of my background. I mean, I've been surrounded by so many different people of my life coming from so many different countries. I've been like traveling since my youngest age. And so I've always seen like associated the fact that freedom, like being able to work from anywhere in the world, would really match with being an entrepreneur. You know what I mean? So I was like, okay, let's make like the work, let's make the studies, let's make like the job, because you always had like to start somewhere. And I know that at some point I will need to get back to that university, because this is where I feel most like myself, like being able to work on my own schedule, like being self-directed, and also being able to work from anywhere in the world, because it has so much to offer. So,
Yeah, yeah, very important, very important. And would you, because I believe that too. I think it was in 2017, I think, when no, it was in 2015. My mom passed in 2015. So while she was ill in the hospital, I needed to go see her because she was in the hospital in a different city from where I lived. And it was difficult because I had a 9 to 5 job. It was difficult for me to keep traveling, to and fro to go visit her. That was when I started thinking about, being an entrepreneur and doing my own thing and earning my money. And then as time went on, apart from that, I just wanted to be able to work anywhere in the world. I wanted to be my own boss. I wanted to have time for my children. I wanted to have time for my family. And like you, I also like to travel. Although I haven't done much traveling since 2020, since the pandemic. I haven't done much traveling. But I still want to do more traveling, especially with my children. I want my children to go to different countries and experience different cultures. So I truly get what you're saying. So would you suggest or advise other women of color to consider being entrepreneurs or doing some kind of digital business? Would you advise them?
If they are, let's say, if they are looking for like being able to work on their schedule, because I think we all have different personalities as well. There are people that thrive better when they have like a frame, when they are guided on what they want, like what they need to do and all of that. And it doesn't mean like you can't do that, like being an entrepreneur, because to me, I'm always like seeking for help from some peers anyway. It doesn't mean like I don't know it all, but definitely if you want like to work on your schedule, that you are like really happy to learn from everybody, because I think a lot of entrepreneurship is about like networking as well, to be honest.
Exactly.
If you're happy to put yourself out of your comfort zone in that sense to get let's put it into bracket, like the freedom reward in the end, definitely it could be a nice solution, I'd say. And because in the end, as you just said, you don't have like to answer anybody or meet anyone's standard. You're defining your own standard, whether like you have family is your priority. Well, I do organize my time according to my family. If I do need like to stop for a week because I want to see that my people, I can do it. You know what I mean? And sometimes you get better creativity, better feedback as well when you just stop for a while, rather than being that. That's how I felt about it, like working back to back without like taking any break. You know what I mean? So yeah, I would advise it. I think it deserves some time to prepare your plan. I think it's all about like preparing your plan in advance, like thinking about what's your idea, what's your strategy around it, how are you going to, because at some point you won't eat your fingers, so you have to make a little bit of money. So how do you plan to sell your product? And right now there's so many like digital coach for entrepreneur, digital entrepreneur, or even content creator, that it's really easy to learn something on your own, and even more with AI right now. I do believe that everyone can take the shot. it of course deserves a lot of work, but everyone can take the shot.
Yeah, yeah, you're right. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work, and for you to be an entrepreneur, you have to come out of your comfort zone, and then do things that you might not really be comfortable doing, like
Exactly.
showing up in front of a camera like this. I know that when I first started showing up in front of a camera in 2020, it was hard for me. It was very hard, but I've done it so many times that I'm now used to it. It doesn't mean anything to me anymore. Yeah, and then like you said, planning is also important because you're not going to eat your fingers. So planning
Exactly.
is important.
You know, I think what people like don't see is like the overall like behind the scene thing. Like even like to run a podcast like that, it means that you need to recruit the interviewee, that you need maybe like to plan up a little bit of the question, what is the tone that you want to do, or maybe some skill and stuff.
Mhm.
And yeah, and that's the behind the scene of the thing. Like people really don't see that. For example, I do YouTube video with the media I'm building right now, and editing the YouTube video just takes forever. So everyone is seeing the
Yeah,
5 minute
yeah.
really
I
shiny video in
really,
the end.
I really
It
hate
just
editing
takes
videos. I do
forever.
not enjoy it. I don't like it. It makes me feel like I'm wasting my time, but you just have to do it. You just have to do it. Yeah. It's a lot of work.
Yeah,
It's a lot of work.
definitely. And it is why I was saying also sometimes it's also about like being able to know your strengths and your weaknesses so you can ask for help for some things that you don't know. We can't be the expert on everything, and that's totally fine. But being able to seek for help is something that I've learned along the way. That's really like, and you like meet so many
Yeah.
like great people on the way. It's just really nice.
Yeah, yeah. So I do that because I don't like editing. So I have someone who does it for me because I really don't enjoy it. Because I know if I don't ask for help, I'll record videos and I wouldn't bother posting them. I'll just keep them there because I don't like. So what's the point? I'd rather just spend some money and get someone to do it for me. It makes life much easier for me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. I
You're
should
making
learn
some
from
good
you
points.
right now from that point.
Really. And there are so many people out there who are willing to do the job and they don't cost that much. Some people who don't, they don't really charge so much, especially if you're hiring a younger person. When it comes to things like that, I like to, work with younger people that are in their 20s, maybe early
Yeah,
30s. They're usually good at such things because I just can't. I just want to focus on my creative things, focus on my podcast, focus on my writing, but all
yeah,
the other technical things, I just like to give them out to some other people to do them for me because I feel overwhelmed. So it's good to know your strengths. It's good to know your strengths, know what you're good at, and the things you're not good at or the things you don't like doing, then you can ask for help. Look for people who can help you, either for a fee or free. If you can find anybody who can do it for you for free, oh great. Awesome.
yeah.
All right, so let's talk about Kclab. Can you spell the
Yeah.
Kclab for us? Can you spell it?
Yes. Kclab. And so the handle on Instagram is kclab.media.
Dot media. Okay.
Yeah,
Kclab dot
that's the
media
handle.
on Instagram. All right. So tell us
Exactly.
about Kclab.
So Kclab was born. I mean, I was actually thinking about it for a while. So it was born in my head like 2 years ago when I was thinking, okay, what can I bring to the world? Are my actually strengths and weaknesses? What's my background? What can I bring? Like thinking about like, uh, I'm scared. Okay, that's one thing. Really, we don't have to be ashamed to tell that we are skilled on something. That's true. I am skilled on marketing and communication. So I was like, okay, rather than doing it for another company, let's do it for myself and for something that really matters to me. And I'm
Mhm.
very an empathic person, and I am really like, I enjoy like having this discussion with you and presenting things and hosting things. But
Mhm.
where I am the most filled with joy is when I help people to shine themselves. So I was
Hmm.
like, from there, how can I help my people? Maybe like the kids that grew up like me in an environment that wasn't yours. So I was like raised and born in the most like white environment where I really didn't see myself, where I didn't feel like represented, and where you're like trying to fit in. So yeah, I know I'm different, but if you can just take me as I am, that should be enough, you know. And I was thinking, and as I've learned all along the way and all along my career and life, I was thinking, well, you should be able to take up the space that you need to take and to like rise as you want and not fit in. That's what I'm rooting for right now. And this is how Club is born. So I'm talking about my stories and also about like people of color stories into my platform. So in Instagram and on YouTube. and I do videos. So really to invite people just to really motivate them and so they feel seen. Like maybe some people are in this situation where the example I take all the time is that when I was a teenager, I didn't see myself on TV show. So you don't know what could be the actual like potential that you have or what can be your end goal because you don't see yourself actually. You're like, okay, let's take some example. All I can see is Britney Spears on the TV, but she doesn't look like me. So what I am supposed to do with my life, you know? So it was really born from this idea and trying to show up and tell my story and tell other people's story to show them that, yeah, there are people that thrive, there are people that rise, and we are here to help each other together because we deserve to take up that space and design our own path, really. So yeah, it's really about like making content to make us represented, whether it's on YouTube or in Instagram. And in the end, I aim to build this business to provide actual and concrete tool for people to like start having those reflections that we are having together, you know, like right now. So they can start reflecting on themselves to see how they can thrive, what are the end goals, and how can them right.
So,
That in a nutshell.
so is Kclab also a marketing company?
It would be in the end. So I love that after the media stage, and the idea is really to build a community, I'd be able to help like small businesses doing their marketing activities and build their brand as well, because it's really something that's from my background and that I really still enjoy it. So, you know, I see so many small black owned businesses or people of color owned businesses where I'm thinking, oh man, you've got a great idea here. It's just missing like the tiny bit that makes you like really recognizable or to communicate this way or this way. So you make sure that people will recognize your brand and have it in memory. So like you just did with also you made like you remember the name so you know what product it is behind, you know. So whether it's skincare or restaurant or whatever, branding is really something I'd like to help people from the community with.
Wow, awesome. So I really want to make sure that everybody watching this episode understands exactly what Kclab is doing right now. So you said Kclab creates content for people of color, right? Is the content your own content or you help black owned businesses or businesses owned by people of color? You help them create content for their brand. Is that what you do?
I see what you mean. I do create my own content, but I also collaborate with brands and with people to highlight their brands or their content. So, for example, I just did recently a co-creation with an artist. She's a singer and she needed like more visibility. So we built things together and we create a piece together on Kclab. So we share her story on Kclab, so it brings her more visibility as well.
All right. So for someone like me, and anybody else who's watching, I'm a creative person. I'm a writer. I'm a podcaster. I'm also an entrepreneur. I'm into affiliate marketing. I can work with you to create content around my brand for more visibility. Is that right?
Exactly.
All right.
And that we cross-share to platform because I really want it to be a win-win situation where I mean like you benefit from what I know in marketing, what I know in like content creation and stuff, but you also benefit from it and your brand also benefit from it. So it's really like a nice win-win situation and sharing.
Nice. And then the content you create is it just videos, only videos, right?
Actually, it's only videos. I mean, videos and Instagram content, so social media content, which means like carousel, Instagram post, and all of that. But yeah, the idea is to make it grow more and more. So I'd love like to do like blog articles where we can like get more into depth into people's story because you can't always summarize that in an Instagram post. People have so much to say and are so interesting. So many things that happen in their life. So yeah, or in the starting things. But yeah, anyone that wants to come to me, I'm happy to welcome.
Awesome. And how old is Kclab? How long have you? Okay, you said March. Did you say March this year?
Yeah, actually, the platform was really like actually live in March this year.
What live March this year? All right. And then if somebody wants to reach out to you to work with you, how can they get in touch with you?
So again, Instagram you can just send me a DM on Instagram. I'm really happy to answer those. I'll look at them like 100 times a day. By email, simply at media.kclab. So
say it again.
Kclab. So media.kclab at gmail.com.
Okay. At gmail.com. Okay. All right.
Yeah, and whether it's
Media.club
like
at gmail.com.
exactly, exactly. And whether it's like co-creating something together, you need like some marketing advice also like for your business, or you want like to be featured in our page, you want to share your story. Yeah, happy to help with it, really. So
Nice. Nice. I'll be in touch with you. I'll be in touch with you. I want
all
to
right.
work with you. So if anybody wants to get in touch with you, they can send you a message on Instagram at Kclab, KCLAB.media. Kclab.media. And I can vouch for her. She always responds to her Instagram messages. She responds quickly, which is really surprising because most times when you send messages to people on Instagram, sometimes it takes people weeks, sometimes days. But Jo responds within minutes. She responds within minutes. So I've noticed
My
that.
phone is gripped on my hand, guys.
So if you want to get in touch with her on Instagram, be sure that she'll respond to you immediately. And on if you want to send an email, it's media dot again club is spelled KCLAB media.club at gmail.com. So if you have a business and do you only work with women or you work with both genders?
No,
Okay,
no,
everybody.
both
All right.
genders. Yeah.
Okay, so if you have a business and you're a person of color and you need to be more visible, you want to get more clients, please talk to Jo. Jo is the person for you. She will work with you, and then the whole world will see you. She's an international
Fantastic.
lady. She's very international. Madagascar, Chinese, Indian, Italian, Spanish, French. So in that
Yeah.
internationalism is in her blood. Her blood is pulsing internationally.
For,
All right.
definitely, for understanding purposes, we could stick with English. I'm fine with that. Otherwise, I'm not sure you get what you want in the end.
So that's awesome. One final thing. One final thing. What's your last word? What would be your advice to a woman of color who is just starting out? I think two people. You speak to two people here. She's just leaving her home country and moving to another country, and she has dreams, and her dreams are not ordinary dreams. She doesn't want a boring life. She doesn't want to just do the 9 to 5, get married, have children, and do the same thing over and over again. What would you tell this woman?
Well, apart from just do it, just do it. But I mean, prepare your plan, know
Mm,
what you want to get from it, and make sure when you're planning it that you build the path to making it happen according to your values, because this is something that won't change. What you truly believe in your heart and in your soul won't change. So whether if you want that to make this trip or to build that business or whatever, make sure that you've got your why you're doing it really clear, because it's going to follow like all along the way. So
mhm,
that's something that will never change. And then just, yeah, prepare your plan, organize yourself, whether it's financially, time wise, or like with your family.
mhm.
Yeah, and just make it happen. You can do anything. We are not often told, but we can do anything really. So we just have to take the shot. And it's going to be hard. And I'm going to release a video about that. Like when you try to create something,
Mm,
you can't like expect people to understand because you have a different view and you know why you're doing it. So
mhm,
take the shot, no matter what
mhm.
people are going to say anyway.
Right. So you heard her. First of all, she said, apart from just do it, yes, just do it, but there's some things you should do first before you just do it. She said, make your plans, organize yourself, prepare your mind, prepare your mind before you do that thing that you really want to do. And then know that when you first start, people may not respond immediately. It could take a few months, it could take a year, maybe 2, maybe even 3 years. But it's important that you get to know your why. Why are you doing what you're doing? Like podcasting,
Exactly.
I absolutely enjoy podcasting. I just love it because I meet people. I meet people like you. I enjoy meeting people. I enjoy asking people questions. I enjoy getting to know people. So it gives me joy. So I'm not because it's relatively young, but people are responding. People are responding. My energy is there. So my energy is pulling people because I love it, because I enjoy it. So you have to make sure that what you want to do is something that you enjoy. And then also ask yourself why you're doing it. Why are you doing it? Those two reasons will keep you there so that you don't give up, even if you're not seeing your results. You don't give up. You just keep doing what you're doing. And educate yourself as well. Educate yourself. Ask questions. Train yourself. Ask for support. Support is very important. And that's what's one of the things that Jo is doing. Jo is providing support to businesses that are owned by people of color. So if you need support, please come with Jo. And if you are an immigrant woman of African descent and you have a success story, it doesn't matter if you think that success story is too small. What you think is small, by the time you tell it to someone else and the person will like, you mean you did this? I know somebody who is a pharmacist. She studied pharmacy and then she pivoted. She moved and she went into HR. And so now she's working in a bank and she has done her master's. She has 3 kids. She has so many organizations that she's either chairing or she's doing so much. And she doesn't think there's any big deal to that. I'm going to be interviewing her next week. Next week, Thursday, I'm going to be interviewing that lady. She has achieved so much. And in her mind, she thinks that she hasn't done anything. I think women have this thing that when they don't see their achievements as anything. So no matter how small you think your achievement is, please send me an email at Ngozi Jason1. Ngozi is Ngozi. Ngozi Jason, Jason. Ngozi Jason1 at gmail.com. Send me an email. Tell us your story, and then we'll come here and share it to the world. And if you're not ready to share your story to the world, you can share your story anonymously. I can just come out here and I can share your story on your behalf anonymously. Or if you don't mind sharing your story yourself, but you don't want to be on video, we can do audio. Nobody needs to see your face, but we need to tell the world your story. We need to encourage other women like you. We need to inspire people and motivate them with your story. Thank you again for listening today. A special thanks to also Yummy Skincare Products for sponsoring today's episode. Thank you so much, Jo. I'll be coming to you. We're going to work together.
So do I. Don't worry.
Thank you so much.